Hello everyone, this is Werekingdom. Going to be playing a game of Mage Wars. This one is actually going to be a pre-recorded video of the finals for the ADMW tournament. I am going to be in the upper left-hand corner playing the Warlock, and Ent is going to be in the bottom right-hand corner also playing the Warlock. So, kind of interesting match. I was really kind of nervous with this match going in, playing against Ent, but playing against that Mage, that Warlock, can be very, very nerve-wracking, because if you're not prepared, it is very easy for her to just burn through hit points like no one's business. Anyways, to the match. I have a mana crystal and battle forge. And has two battle forges. This is kind of scary because you'd expect some, I was expecting like fireball, something along that line. The Curse of Rings was a little bit unexpected. I was thinking more, I would see lesser armor. But with this, I was expecting, maybe Mark for Death, fireball, something along that line. Anyways, on my side, I have the Battle Forge. I have the Cloak of Shadows because I was expecting a fireball. I also have a Mana Crystal and a Hand of Bimshalah. My main purpose at this point was I am going to get the mana advantage at this point. I don't want to be right next to her when I have the Cloak of Shadows. There's no point. Why get hit when I don't need to? Most of my things are flame immune, the battle forge, the mana crystals, all that. So, there's that. Getting some leather on. I would have liked to see the dragon hide at this point, but because of mana restrictions, I don't have that. Instead, what I'm going to do is I'm going to put out a Blood Reaper. I put out the Scourger because of the -2 to flame attack, which is what I was expecting. I also have Enfeeble. The idea behind this was I was assuming that she... I wonder if I should call Ent she, because he's playing a female. Totally sidetracked. Anyways, I'm just going to say Ent. So, I was expecting Enti to come to maybe B1 or A2 and Firestream, or if I had an enchantment, I was expecting a Fire Blast at least to kind of get around dodge or any of those abilities. I put the armor on my familiar because since he can't target me, that would be the next obvious target. I was assuming that Enti did not have many non-fire attacks, which is why I was more comfortable using the Scourger rather than the Afflicted Demon, which I might have otherwise used. Okay, here comes the Dragon Hide, Demon Mask. See, this is kind of scary because that affects range attacks as well. The plus piercing on a fireball can be really scary. I was not expecting to see the Blade. So, I put in the Enfeeble here to give Enti slow. At this point, I was still kind of half expecting to be fire blasted in the face. So, there's that. The sword allows Enti to attack the mana crystal or the battle forge because everything else he has is a fire attack. So, there's that. And, yeah. Something to note. So, I was going between Brace and Bull's Endurance. I ended up doing Bull's Endurance. This might have been a risky move. Well, not really. The Scourger by himself is kind of weak. I figured if I put Bull's Endurance on, everyone would assume I put a Brace on or maybe a Dodge. So the chances of him being attacked with a fireball or a boulder right now is kind of low. So there's that. So it's more of a bluffing game as far as that, which it did. I wouldn't actually say it paid off because I never actually needed the Bull's Endurance throughout this game. Although having it made me play a lot more aggressively with my Blood Reaper than I would have otherwise done, just because the insurance that I would have 4 extra life on him. Okay, so I am guarding up there. That's mainly because of mana restriction. And yeah. Just double checking, making sure that I did not pause the recording. I did not. So, yep. Okay, guarding. I was kind of surprised on this. I was expecting to at least have him go up or down, but because he's enfeebled, slow, kind of makes sense. I mean, why give a Blood Reaper an extra chance to hit you when you don't have to? So, yeah, totally fine. Kind of expected. Yeah. Okay, here comes the quick cast. I believe this is a Dispel? No, enchantment. Okay, putting Enchanter's Ring on. I do not believe I do not have a Curse Ring in this deck, nor do I have any Fire Shaper rings or anything like that. I don't actually have any Hellfire Lashes or any of that. The only fire attacks I have are the Circle of Fire and Flame Blast. And that's more of a anti-swarm, anti-defense capability. Okay, here I'm putting in the Inflicted Demon. This is mainly because the sword, any range attacks he's not going to affect, but if Ent is paying to actually put a sword on, I'm expecting at least a Bear Strength somewhere in here. Yep, and here we see the Dispel of the Enfeeble. So at this point I'm expecting him to either take out my mana, which, isn't that bad, or possibly risking going for the Battle Forge. Kind of risky. He does have, I believe, 3 Pierce? 3 or 4 Pierce. I don't remember if the Blade gives 2 or 3 Pierce, and then the Demon High will give 1 more. So, there's that. If he was able to get rid of this Battle Forge, and yes, he eventually does, then that makes total sense. Otherwise, if he couldn't have taken care of it in one turn, he might have been better off going towards the Mana Crystal and whittling that down. I have the mana advantage right now, but that is a very frail thing at this point. I mean, he could arguably take out a creature of mine in one turn for just melee and fire streaming. Any one of my creatures could probably take him out. In argument. Okay, there goes the Battle Forge. It takes me a while to actually realize it. I was not thinking correctly. I forgot about the piercing. And yeah, so he did 7 damage. Yep, piercing 3, so actually 6 goes through. I totally forgot about the Demon High Mask. So, yep. This is the point where my Blood Reaper actually comes into play for the first time. Slight question. For people that play with the Blood Reaper, do you normally play with Bloodlust on your Blood Reaper or Demonic Link? This out of curiosity because, both of them are enchantments on your own creature, both of them are curses, so you could get a 2 mana discount between the Curse Ring and Enchanter's Ring. And they give a decent amount of dice. I mean, Bloodthirsty 2 and Pierce 1 on 1, and the other one is melee plus 1, and you heal your mage, which is, pretty nice. But is it worth it? Or does it make your demon, your Blood Reaper, too big of a target? So, the Blood Reaper is nice. But I have this feeling that if I put too much stuff on it, it becomes too big of a target to be ignored. And he always gets whittled down. And even though he's nice, I don't want to waste... I shouldn't say waste. I don't want to use my life, innate life, to build new Reapers every time one of mine is whittled down. I would rather have a Reaper with maybe 1 or 2 enchantments, and then this regular guys that, like, Inflicted Demons, maybe some of the Hellions, Dark Pact Slayer, something along that line. Just no enchantments. This as a beater to work down any enemies around him. Okay, here we see a Flame Blast. This is a smart choice because if I had a dodge on there, that would have gone away. So there's that. Somewhat unlucky that I had a Glancing Blow instead of a dodge, but okay. And so that was the quick action. Full action, I believe he's going to, I want to say, run away. Meleeing could have been an option, but that would have opened him up to the Afflicted Demon's weak, which is something most people would not do by themselves normally. Yep, there it goes. Right now, Anti has 4 armor, I believe. If he had the Vet Belt on at this time, he might have possibly stayed around. I mean, versus 3 dice from the Afflicted Demon. The Afflicted Demon only gives the weak tokens if he can do damage. And if he can't, he's just a really weak demon. Oh, side note here. I made a mistake, and we're actually going to correct it pretty soon. I cannot guard with my Blood Reaper. He is bloodthirsty. I can't actually guard. I would have to attack. So instead of guarding, I ended up double moving up to A2. Yep. So that puts him in the zone with my Afflicted Demon. Then I would double move with my Mage, and I should have used the quick cast action on this, but I think I forgot. But anyways, putting out the altar, that will eliminate any plus melee abilities. So, Int's Bear Strength, the Flame ring for melee flame, all that is going to be negated by that altar. At this point, Enti is putting a elemental wand on. I need to get rid of this pretty quickly, because if that takes out the altar, the damage difference between my demons and him, he has high armor at this point, and it's going to be hard for me to get damage through that armor. Also, with the burn chances, he might not get a lot of damage out on myself or my Blood Reaper, but stacking burns is a big threat. Side note, not side note. So, here's the Searching Wave. I was trying to get out or get rid of his guard. Total fail on that. No damage, no slam. That was a bad shot on there. Eye of Bell. I got the Eye of Bell from Enti during the development. I don't know why. So normally you give the Eye of Bell to people, and it's basically a very minor mage ghoul rot. 1 damage per turn unless you attack with a demon that turn, in which case you gain a mana. The thing is, I have demons. So unless Enti was thinking he could get rid of my demons right away, which he could, it kind of didn't make sense. Side note, made a mistake here. Should not have given the plus melee because of the altar. And I don't think anyone actually remembered this part. I just realized this one when I was going through the cleaning up the recording. So, yeah, that was a mistake. Okay, and that's 3 damage going through. Yep. And this is the point where I remember I actually get melee. And, yeah. Very happy at that point. I'm wondering if Ent just remembered that you actually can gain mana with this. It wouldn't be the first time that I've done something like that. I've given the, I've built someone thinking it'll give them damage, and it doesn't. Actually, good example, Red Dice. Red Dice had a druid that used demons, and I gave the Aya Bell to him early on, and then I lost. He was playing with a demon swarm as a druid. Interesting game, but yeah, interesting. Let's go with that. Okay, we have a, is it flame? I believe flame stream, or I didn't see what spell that was. But my afflicted demon is gone, and he only gave out 1 week. So some people would argue that that is a bad trade. I would probably disagree. I mean, you spent 4, 5 mana, depending if it was a stream or a fire blast, to get rid of him, and you attacked him once. So, and he got a week. So is he worth it? Maybe, maybe not. At this point, I do have the 11 channeling. The NT is 9. So, in a relatively break-even trade like that, I would probably consider it my win. Okay, here, NT is attacking my mage, and I am refilling the minor vampirism. So, attacking with 3 dice because the sword, and he has a weak, doing 3 damage. Not bad. You know, about average, and especially with the piercing, my armor is worthless at this point. Okay, 5 attack back, doing, I want to say 4 damage, so killing 2. Yep. It's nice when all the automation is actually working. Okay, and then, was it I believe this is a curse. Oh no. This would be the fire stream. And it keeps going. I don't know why it sometimes does that. Anyways, so, I took damage. 3 damage and a burn. Okay. So, I have 20 mana. I am thinking at this point, I want a new creature. My afflicted demon is gone. He was taken out really easily. I could have done the skeletal sentry. That would have been decent. The blood demon might not have been bad, but, I mean, and he still has the fire attacks, and the blood demon, he's flying, but he doesn't have a lot of armor. So at this point, I want to just get rid of the, so it was a fire stream. Want to get rid of the elemental wand, and then my thing is, I'm going to have 26 mana next turn. 27 because of the mana from the Eye of Bell. I was going to try the Fire Lord, which sounds stupid. It does. Going against a Adrenalic Warlock with a Fire Lord is like beyond crazy. You're just asking for burns to be stacked on you. But, and here's the idea, I have the Cloak of Shadows. I can run away, and as long as my Blood Reaper is in the zone, it'll hinder NT. So, fire, I mean, if he can't transfer the burns, or can't deal with my stacking the burns, the Fire Lord can be amazing. Okay, Mage Vein. I believe this is the point, so second time I accidentally did that, and I believe I want to say I caught myself with the melee. Yeah. Yep, okay, so Putin was the one that caught this. Yeah. So, asked if NT wanted to reroll it. I did, what, 2 damage? No damage, right? Yeah, no damage, because Desperate Focus. Sorry, Desperate Focus, the armor plus the belt. So, asking if he wanted me, or if he wanted me to re-roll the dice, since arguably, I rolled 1 too many. Then again, I did no damage. So, Andy's choice on this. Sorry. Yep, and then at this point I did 3 damage. So, and that's just the way it rolls. Okay. So at this point, Enti doesn't seem to be able to deal with my Scourger. He has Vampirism. He has the Flame -2. So, he's getting damage through. What might have been a good idea is to put arguably Poison Blood on the demon, or Theft of Life might not have been a bad idea as well. Because Vampirism only heals half the damage you do, and against that much armor, the chances that I would be dealing more than, or healing more than 2 with Vampirism is pretty small. Sorry, just getting over a cold, so yeah. Okay. So, Enti's going up. Kind of surprised at this. I was expecting him to go sideways and then attack the altar, but with him going in my zone, not attacking, good opportunity to drop Lord of Fire. I wish I saw Enti's reaction to this. I don't. Okay, 1, burn chances. So, Burn Weaver, he has to be thinking that I can transfer burns. On the other hand, that's a lot of damage. That is, you don't want to see that coming towards you. Okay, so 14 mana. This point I have the Mage Wand. I'm thinking probably Mage Wand and spell the Dragon Scale Armor. Okay, so I believe this was a one-shot, or... yeah, there we go. So one-shotting the altar, not good for me, because that means Spare Strength, Desperate Focus, all those melees get back, put back into effect. So this is the point where I'm worried about possibly... well, okay. I'm not really worried about being whittled down at this point with the Blood Reaper right there and all the Lord of Fire sitting right on top. But, that taking away that melee bonus is definitely going to be hard. It puts my Blood Reaper at risk. It puts arguably my Mage at risk of being whittled down very quickly. Instead, we're going to have Enti move to the left and get rid of the weak. Not a bad move. I mean, heals for 1, gets rid of the weak. It's not bad. Kind of expensive for 3 spellbook points for that card. I probably would have had a healing wand instead, because Enti has the Battle Forges, but, you know, it's fine. Okay, here I have the Mage Wand on. I'm going to put a spell, or no, dissolve in here. Yep. And then my next target is going to be the Dragon Scale Armor. So get rid of the flame negative, and this is the point where Lord of Fire can come in, and I can use the melee. Looking forward to this. This was good. Okay, so doing 9 damage, 3 regular, 6 critical, inflicting 6 because of the armor, and getting a burn. So, good turn. And then I'm probably going to put my guy just up a little bit and guard. Again, not too worried about being focused because I do have 28 life versus Enti's 12. So I am more than twice. But want to protect my Mage Wand. Just don't want to be targeted right away. I've seen too many people on the cusp of victory and then get flame ball or fireball twice in the face. So, okay, Wall of Bones. Was not expecting this. So Wall of Bones means that, well, 1, the Flame Lord can still attack. He's not hindering Enti, but it's my initiative, so a lot of damage, a lot of burns. Yeah. If Enti had moved, then it probably, it would have been fine. I have a Lesser Teleport in my hand because I was expecting to Lesser Teleport away to keep my Mage Wand safe and or get out of trouble. Instead, what I'm going to be doing is moving my Mage down and Lesser Teleporting the Blood Reaper across, hindering Enti. My main point in this was to hinder Enti and do some damage. So, it ended up working fine. Not a big deal. I don't think I took the mana for the Lord of Fire. Yep, this is the point where I'm... How should I say this? Pleading, asking, cajoling Enti not to come over to my Mage. No one wants to give a burn and then have it come back to you and someone going, "You like burns, don't you? Have some." Alright, get rid of this really quick. Okay. So Enti's thinking, not a big deal right now. He is in a hard spot right now. So he's up against 2 creatures, both of them virtually impossible for him to kill. The Lord of Flame is flame immune, so his only range attack will not do any damage to him. And his melee, he has decent melee. He has 7 melee, piercing 3. That is good. But if a creature is flying, oh well, not much point right now. Okay, here I am. I'm master teleporting my Reaper over. This is more the hinder entity than to actually do anything else. So, I was not expecting entity to stay in this position. And yeah. So he's attacking, I believe the Scourger has 8 health, attacking with 7 dice because the sword. So there was a decent chance he could have one-shotted the, Blood Reaper. I revealed Bull's Endurance. I did not need to do that, and that was probably a waste of mana to actually reveal that. But, yeah, it's fine. Okay, doing no damage, I believe. Yep, no damage, because the Vet Belt. Yep. At this point, the only real damage I'm getting through is with the Lord of Fire and his 7 dice and burn chance. So, yeah. On a side note, NT did move one of his burns over to my Scourger, which was a good idea. Okay, here I am trying to get back some health. And I got 2 damage through, which is going to heal me for 1, I believe. So, it's fine. Nothing great. Okay. So this is actually going to be a turn. I think we skipped a turn in the editing process. Okay, so I guess I'll just go over this really quickly. Last turn, very simple. NT moved here, Tangle Vined me, and then teleported over here. I attacked the Vine, and I put a demonic bloodlust on my Lord of Fire. So, that's what happened last turn. Now it's this turn. We passed on the quick action, and Lord of Fire is going to come in and do a lot of damage. 9 damage, 5 going through because of the armor, and that's just barely enough to push NT over the edge, and that's game. So, anyways, quick game, interesting, and yeah. Guys, thanks for watching, have a good day, and good night.